Welcome everyone. We are painting Flanders fields today, and I have great memories wrapped up in this flower, I guess, and what it represents to remembrance days. My dad used to play the last post. So anyways, we're getting going with some color. We're going to use lots of pigment, lots of deep pigment. I'm going to bring purple into this when I do the green at the bottom. And I love the energy in this. Now, there's a surprise at the end how I finished it. So just watch and relax and then try it yourself. You can go through it over and over again. I've got my colors planned out on this chart. We've got a really nice, deep, rich green we're going to use as well. So 3 colors for the flowers. We're going to put the red on, then the yellow, and then the orange. And they can be any shade of these 3 colors that you want. As you know, red and yellow make orange anyways. So if you don't have orange already made up, make up some orange. You can see how it adds the layers to, trying to get that idea that the light is shining through them. So we're going to get started here. We're going to start with the background with a fairly large flat brush. And we're going to put lots of water on the paper. And you want to work it through because you want the paper to take that water. You don't really want pools of water on top, but I'm making quite a impact with this bright yellow. And what I'm going to do is let the paint run, the water run, so that it's light at the top and darker at the bottom. And you could see how I did that. I did it in 2 different sections. First the dark vivid yellow and then the lighter yellow. And I took a tissue and caught the water at the bottom of the page. I'm holding it up, and I also sort of dabbed where the flower is going to be. And this really helps to place your flowers. You've got pencil lines there and you don't really want to lose them if the paint is too dark there. So we're just going to move the board around. I think it's important to tape down your paper onto a piece of cardboard, and then you have a portable art table basically to work from. And again, just using tissue to mop that up. So you have a distinct difference between the top of the picture and the lower picture with the shade of the yellow. And it's kind of interesting how the paint runs a little bit when you hold it up. Now, as you can see, I've been dotting in the color red along the horizon of where the 2 shades of yellow meet. And this is really the distance poppy, the poppies that you're going to put in the distance. So I spend a few more moments just dabbing up the water within the red bigger poppies, the poppies we're going to do. And I'm just going to show you petal and how you might possibly just keep it really simple and let the petals form. You're going to show the paint where to go with the water. So we're putting this deep, vivid red color on dry paper and basically using our brush as the size of the petal. So look at the size of your brush. Is it the size and width of a petal that you might be able to create some petals like this? And you're just going to outline your pencil marks, and then this is a dab of the yellow, and put the yellow on the edges of the petals so that it looks a little bit like light. So this is going to be where your petals, where the light shines through, is this yellow. And then what you're going to do is go back in and dab a little bit of the orange to the center. Now, sometimes you can't really see where you put the orange because the mixture of the yellow and the red make the orange, but it's going to bring out the center. We'll finish up with putting the black centers, and we're going to use a pen to outline the lacy petals on these beautiful poppies. So I like this composition. We've got 5. And they look like they're just sort of, blowing in the breeze. They've got a nice look to them. And as you can see, I'm pulling out the centers now so that it looks like they're highlighted on the sides. And these colors just blend so well together. I love doing this particular design. Now I'm putting that red back in and sort of outlining a few different spots where the red has tended to go, and it will just sort of keep gathering there. I'll put more pigment on as time goes on. Now you can see by the way that I'm using the brush on its side, it's dry. I'm using a tissue to mop up a little bit of the center part of it. I'm looking at colors for my green because I want to leave the poppies, but I want to keep an eye on them. So I sort of keep playing with them. And what we're doing here is setting up your paint to dry in a certain sort of configuration. So I can't, paint on the petals at this point. I've got very wet water, which is wet paper, which is what I want, because I want to manipulate those circles, the center, the petals, and everything. So going in now with another layer of red, and I'm being a little bit more specific about where I place it. I'm sort of highlighting the under areas because it is a dark shade, so we want it will be the under areas that have that. Just pointing out my greens and my purples. So I'm getting ready to do the leaves. I'm going to use a brush that is flat, and I'm just going to imagine and kind of show you, map it out where I'm going to go. And not too close to the horizon. We're going to keep the more dense colors, darker colors, close to us at the bottom. So we've got it on our brush now. We've mixed it up. We're just going to put a first coat, just see how this color looks. We want to sort of play with it on the side. Make sure you try it out first on another piece of paper. And we want to just sort of outline where we're going to put the green. And you can see how the yellow shines through in the distance on the horizon. It makes a really nice effect. But close to us, we don't want the light to shine through too much because it's more dense, it's more detailed, it's closer to us. And it will bring it closer to us when we put the detail in there. And so I'm just putting that in. I've got a couple of different greens that I work with. I'll put them up on the screen. They're my favorite, and this one has a nice granulating effect. It will leave little bits of pigment on the paper, and this wonderful violet color looks very dark, but it dries really well. And I've got the darkest on the right, and I've sort of let the light take care of everything on the left, the way that I've just intuitively sort of feel that I want to put that process for your eye to follow. Now I'm just playing with the angle. I'm holding up the bottom about 2 inches off the board and letting it flow towards the top of the painting. And there's quite a lot of water and color there that I think it has created a really nice grounding effect for these poppies. So I get right back into the petals and continue to shape them, continue to put pigment in there and help them sort of give them their vibrancy. This is a very vibrant flower, and I don't want them to dry very light. I want them to be dark. I'm starting to put in the little seed pods that sometimes hang around after the poppies go to seed, and it really does help to make them look distinctively like poppies. So I've got 3 on the top. I think that helps the composition, and I've given them some 3-dimensional look to them. And once I put the black pen on there, they will have even more detailed to them. And now I'm going to go through and put some stems for each of the flowers, and this really helps to give them that grounding look because they just sort of look like they're floating right now. And what we'll do is put a few more bits of foliage. Basically, they have sort of fronds like leaves on their stems, but they do tower above the ground. So I'm just trying to have these ones look a little taller than what I've done in the past. And I don't know, I think I've just made the petals look bigger and larger and more crowded, but I like the way this one turns out. I think your composition, your intuitive sort of nature to follow what is freely going on with the paint and the colors, and just letting it take its own time to manifest into this beautiful. I love the colors, and as you know, I mentioned that it means a lot to me to paint these beautiful poppies for Remembrance Day. Now we're going to spend quite a bit of time filling in with a small brush the blades of grass, the stems, the pieces of foliage that are close to us. We're going to go back into the flowers, and we're going to continue to work on that center, and we're just putting some detail on the seed pods. We're going to go through each piece and make sure that the poppies are grounded with a stem and lots of foliage. We don't want them to look like they're just floating, so it's really important to put those details in there. Go back over the seed pods and give those just a tiny little bit more, just a dab of paint. It just adds a little bit more to it. Now you'll know intuitively when the artwork is done, and what you want to keep doing is stepping back from it, seeing it from across the room, seeing it from just another foot away, and just take a break, have a look, and the things that you don't like will show up, and you'll be able to fix them. You'll be able to put more pigment in, or pull out a little bit of pigment, work with the centers of the flowers. Once you put those black centers in the flowers, they really do help to bring that feeling of a poppy. And we know that the black is just as black as the red is red, so we're just going to continue to put those little bits of red in there, just really being a little bit more definitive with where I'm putting those now, because I want to trace out the petals with the color, and eventually we'll take the black pen, as I mentioned, and define those petals even more. So wherever the paint dries is where the black pen will come and outline that a little bit more. And sometimes it's just a layer upon layer, the orange and the red and the yellow coming through as well. So just play with it, have fun, and be intuitive. Let your intuition lead the way. Have a look at it, stand back, and just make sure these poppies have stems and a little bit of it's hard to describe what the leaves are, but they're sort of like palm frond, what I think anyways. So just a few of those in the back as well. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you love the idea of the poppies and the vivid colors and what they stand for. I hope that maybe one day you'll join us in our paint circles. We do this every week, and we're always doing different things. And you can just sign up, and you'll get the template in the email, and not in the mail, by email, and you'll be ready to go. So take care, and I've included a couple pictures of the artwork a little closer, so you could see the pen and ink details that I put on them. I think it's important that you sort of see that a little bit more up close. It's hard to tell from far away. So enjoy, and hope to see you soon.